little critical of the Bullet lately, and I do it. I really do it as a way of trying to help the Bullet. I've never met her. I think I'm being helpful to her, but the crowd doesn't like her.
Explain who the Bullet is to the people who don't know, which is the problem that you're talking about.
She is quite possibly the greatest talent I've ever seen in unarmed combat. She is fantastic. Her skills seem to be equal on the ground as to standing up. She can finish fights anywhere. She can deal with adversity. She can push the pace. She's actually weaponized pace. I mean, much like Dan Gable did way back in 1972. She is flat impressive. She's also a co-main event. You can't make $1 with the girl. You can't put her against any opponent. She's fighting this weekend. I don't know who her opponent is, and I'm not attempting to be funny. I simply don't. You could give me multiple choice, I wouldn't know. But that's her fault. You know, I watched her on Ariel yesterday, and she's sitting there, you know, they call it crisscross applesauce, and she's telling some story. She's trying to tell it like we're 5-year-olds, and like she's the kindergarten teacher. It's like, girl, strip your clothes off. You got tattoos. Supposedly you speak 7 languages. Man, I'm not even sure you've mastered English, which you're speaking to us now. You're not overly impressive, and you're a co-main event above everything else. What do I give a goddamn what you have to say or how many world championships you have? You can't even close out the night? You got a guy named Cyril Gahn who's 1-1 in his last 2, and he's walking out after you? There's a miss there. And I don't say that to put her down. She's wildly successful, but why she keeps trying to pretend that she's a sweet Sally homemaker when she's not?
What should she be? What would you do with her?
I think in real life she's a heel. I don't know her. I haven't met her personally, but I think she's a heel. I've seen her interviews. I've seen her come to the aid and to the defense of some very unsavory characters. And I just thought to myself, you seem like a bad girl. When John Jones went down for every steroid in the world and street drugs and cocaine, and he ran his car into... she was the first to come and defend him, which was very sweet. She has the courage to come out and defend it. It was very sweet. But it also isn't what your kindergarten teacher that she'd like you to think that she is would do. And I look at her and go, you're a heel, just be yourself.
Is there another reason why she might have defended him?
Of course. What do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
And then you got Holly Holm. I mean, you have such a great story if they had the courage to come out and tell it. Right, but isn't that an interesting thing? But this isn't, I'm not speaking out of school. There's divorces in place, there's breakups. I mean, all of these things can be Googled. You just have to connect the dots. And if you did connect the dots, you could make some money and sell some tickets, but they don't have the courage to connect the dots. They got to just leave it lingering while I'm out here on a media tour trying to get somebody to watch a girl that's in a co-main event.
You could make her money right now if you just said what you were feeling.
Right now.
You think that there might be a romance?
She could sell out an arena to fight Holly Holm if they would just tell the story.
And what's the story?
What would the story be? What would the story be?
You
got Holly over here, you got Valentina here, and you got John over here. Now, I'm not connected, but these are your 3 people. What would the story possibly be?
Maybe John Jones was like in an intimate relationship perhaps with Holly Holm.
That could be very interesting.
Let's just make it up.
The Bullet Shevchenko came in and stole John Jones from
if that happened.
So Holly would fight the Bullet, and Holly would want to get revenge on the girl that stole her man?
That'd be crazy.
And the Bullet who lives over here got assigned to the March 4th card, which John Jones is headlining, and they're all the same hotel right now.
Oh, no. Wow. It looks like the wrong fight is on that co-main event.
I don't know. That's an incredible tale that you're
that'd be crazy if that happened.
But imagine that happened and they came out and they told the world instead of hiding behind it. Imagine the interest that you could possibly have. One is the world champion who's won more world championships. The other's not. Do you understand that? We have a world title fight that is not the main event on a card. We have a non-world title fight that's headlining a card. That's a problem for them. For them, that's a problem that could be changed, but it would take courage to tell a story.
Does it have anything to do with their genitals?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think you're talking about the men traditionally do better. I mean, we saw UFC, was it 200? Misha Tate and Amanda Nunes. So we have seen the woman go later before, but it is a hard fact of a policy that a championship match closes out the night.
You're saying that there needs to be a story.
Gender.
I agree with you. I don't even know what the story is with Cyril Gahn and John Jones.
I want you to understand that. She is such a bad draw that they are breaking. There is a public
because the belt has to headline.
The belt has to headline.
Well, it is headlining. I think John Jones and Cyril Gahn are fighting for the belt.
But neither one of them is champion. That's the difference.
You're saying the champion always has to headline.
That is a policy that they have never broken. And she does such a bad job that they have to break their own policy because they can't walk her out last.
So you want her to say, I stole your man.
I want her to come out and
I want to knock you out afterwards.
Yeah, I don't want her to come out and do this pretending she speaks 7 languages. I don't want her to come out and pretend that she's trained in the military. I don't want her to come out and act. She's got a sister in the business. Her mother was a world champion. She grew up in a very rough household, and she is an incredible story, an incredible product of a very difficult upbringing. She is not a kindergarten teacher. She is not a nice girl. She has tattoos on her body. She gets in a cage and she tries to hurt other people that she was trained and designed to do. There's nothing wrong with telling that story, but when she tries to fool the audience, you have a co-main
Would you
event.
consider being like a consultant for a league? Because it feels like you can sell a storyline in the way like Eric Bischoff, who did WWE.
Sure, I remember Eric.
And you,
Easy E.
Yeah, I feel like you could do a very similar thing. I'm sure you're making a lot of money now. Your podcast is 12 times bigger than ours, but
very sweet of you.
But I think you can make a lot of money doing that.
I appreciate that, and I just think there's a story to, and I have to say this, Andrew, because it's important to me, because I didn't come here to give the Bullet a hard time or to even out her dirty laundry. It's like, I think that she's a really interesting gal. I had a dream, and I worked really hard, and I fell short. I didn't get to as good as she was, or as talented, or as many wins and as many gold belts.
If she had dirty laundry, would Holly Holm clean it?
And there'd be a
Has that happened in the past?
Like, that would be a really incredible reason for them to fight. It really would. I mean, you have two people that just can't draw flies. And I don't say it to pick on her. I say it because there's a difference. If you're going to come out, you're going to do the interview anyway. One, you can sit crisscross applesauce and speak to the audience like you're a fourth grader. Or the other one, you can come on to Ariel's show, talk about the World Championship, the next girl you're going to beat up. And by the way, I'm going to stop by this guy's room in the meantime.
Damn.
His legs, his knees might be weak by the time he walks in the main event because of me the night before. There's a way to tell a story. And they're true. Just come out and tell the story.
So what makes a better fight? Two heels or a heel in the face?
Well, there's nothing more monetizable than a cool heel. Now, a cool heel's hard to come by. A cool heel, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
The Rock. Were cool heels. But if you throw me in there, that was very sweet of you. But Conor would go into that category too. Conor didn't come out to get cheered. He came out to get booed, but then he kind of looked cool doing it, and he had the bow tie, and he had the accent, and you know, he got a good little build on him, and all of a sudden he wins world championships. He's headlined Madison Square Garden. I mean, some of that stuff just happens. The other part you can manufacture. I just suggest if you have a story to tell your story, that would be my only advice. If you have a story, tell your story. If you try to lie to the audience, like Shevchenko, you're going to end up a co-main event. If you're happy in your career, talk about the time that you won fights in a co-main event spot. Do it your way.
So it's better to have two heels, but if they're cool heels, that's even better.
I think it's just better to tell the story the way that it happened. If you got a reason to fight this person, tell what it is. If you have you don't even know who this person is, and Dana White drew the name out of a hat, and you got a phone call one day, tell that. If that's really is the story, then go out and tell that.
Because that's also being a heel. I don't know who this girl is. Dana White picked a name out of a hat. I have no fucking clue who she is, but I'm gonna get paid money to go there and beat her ass.
Yeah, and it's low level. That's condescending. It's like the new boyfriend has to act like he doesn't know the old boyfriend's name. You know, he's not James Jack, and they call him John. I mean, there's some stuff that's bigger than all of us. But I would just store for you if you're telling a story and you have a really good one to tell it.